Thank you so much, Thomas, Ketan, and Gautam, for joining me today. We're really excited to have the chance to get to know you and Circles. Also, welcome to the audience joining us today. I'm Urvashi, the technical community champion at JumpCloud. We are really excited to share how organizations around the world are dealing with the challenges of digital and identity transformation. Now, we say this a lot at JumpCloud. Connecting people to the technology that they need to get their jobs done and be productive may be the most important role and challenge that an IT organization faces. Layer on the security challenges that we're all facing, and being an IT professional is not easy. So, we wanted to share best practices, lessons learned, and sage advice from the best in the world. So, with that, let's kick things off with some introductions and background. So, you can go one by one. So, let's get some background on you and your organization. You can just tell us something about yourself, what you all do, how long you've been with the company, and what your role entails.
Sure. Thanks, Urvashi. Maybe I will get started on this one. So first of all, thanks a lot for this opportunity to have a session with you. We are really privileged to be here with you. So let me begin by sharing a bit on Circles. So Circles as a company, we offer a SaaS product called Circles X to our partners that primarily allows telco operators to reduce their operating costs and focus on their customers. This enables them to provide better plans, better services to their customers. Market-wise, we offer a B2B as well as a B2C services and are spread with presence all over the world. Uh, about me, coming to me, I'm Ketan. I have joined Circles around 10 months back. I look after the enterprise security that primarily deals with putting mitigations in place against internal threats. Additionally, I'm also responsible for implementing a robust IAM solution at Circles.
Thank you. Who'd like to go next?
Thomas?
Okay, I'll go ahead. Hi, everyone. My name is Thomas Dias, and I head the enterprise IT team for Circles. I have been in this role for almost 1.5 years now, and my team is accountable for all IT support needed by our employees at Circles. We also handle onboarding and offboarding of users from our organization. In addition to that, we also manage the laptops and other tools that they need to get their work done. My team is highly focused on the customer experience, and we do our best to make sure that all our customers have a smooth IT experience at Circles. Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas. Gautam, your turn.
Yep. So thanks, Urvashi, for giving us this opportunity. And again, from my side, I'm Gautam. I'm part of the enterprise security team inside Circles, so which is the part of the bigger information security group of Circles. Okay, so timeline-wise, again, I'm pretty much similar to Ketan in terms of when I joined. I joined Circles about 11 months back. Primarily, I come from a development and a security background, so I have quite a bit of experience, working for startups as well as big conglomerates. Okay, and I have performed various roles. Okay, of development, application architecture, security architecture, managed security services. To just to name a few. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
So we've got a really knowledgeable group here with us to talk more about this. So could you, whoever would like to answer, tell us more about, the vision of your technical organization and what role it plays within the business? I know it was touched upon briefly, but if you could get into it a little bit more.
Sure. Let me take that as well. So we are part of the wider cybersecurity organization in Circles. So as part of cybersecurity, right, the onus on us is to protect Circles against any internal threats, which is basically protecting any devices, our network, our access points, etc. Then taking care of any external threats like ransomware attacks and protecting our environment against it. thirdly, looking after the perimeter security. So things like protecting our APIs from various kind of attacks that can be possible. And then making sure that Circles is adhering to regulatory requirements for the markets and the regions that we operate in. And most important, last but not the least, managing access and identities for our employees, partners, vendors who get access to our critical infrastructure, which actually manages the workloads of our customers. So that is.
Awesome. And how did JumpCloud help you meet those requirements? So when you were first evaluating it or when you first came across JumpCloud, how did you feel like it could make an impact?
So JumpCloud as a solution, being an IAM platform, our basic use case about making sure that our users have a unified access to all our internal and external systems. That is where JumpCloud played an important role in getting us started with it.
Cool. So I want to dig in a little bit more into the details. So are there any specific, security policies or restrictions that you've applied in order to tighten your security?
I can start on that, Urvashi. So two areas that we have recently focused on, actually we've focused on for quite some time, is the admin access and also USB data transfer on laptops. And what we actually use JumpCloud to control both of these. And by doing so, we can actually disable any unwanted data transfers or any unwanted changes which are done on the laptop itself. So what we have done is we have removed both of these accesses from all our laptops for security reasons. So for example, if a user needs admin access, let's say they want to run a script or they want to make some changes which requires admin access, what they can do is they can actually create a Jira ticket. And how we manage that is that we have three types of tickets, P1, P2, and P3. And each ticket gives a different level of access and a different level of timing for that access as well. So for example, if I'm in a very critical situation, I need administrative access urgently, what I would do is I would submit a P1 ticket, and what will happen is that the system will run on the background and it will automatically grant me admin access for 8 hours. So I can do the work that I need to be done within that 8 hours. And if after 8 hours, the access is automatically removed. So by doing so, by automating it this way, what happens is that it takes the manual intervention needed by my team to perform those changes. We're actually using an API, which is integrated with JumpCloud to actually handle the administrative access, which is required. So when it comes to USB as well, we have blocked it on all our laptops using a JumpCloud policy. And let's say a user requires to transfer any type of data from through their USB to an external hard disk, let's say, they actually require InfoSec approval and also our people and culture team's approval to do so before because that's due to security and data protection reasons. So we can actually implement global policies to all our devices, which is around 1,000 devices, with a few clicks on JumpCloud. So that is something that has really helped my team and reduce the manual intervention needed from our side.
Awesome. But I feel like, there's always a conflict between ease of use and heightened security. So did you have to deal with any pushback from your end users in terms of this additional security requirements, and how did you handle that?
Yeah, so pushback is normal because people don't like change. So how we handle that is through the P1, P2, and P3 tickets. So by making P1 automated, I took away a lot of fear from the users, because let's say they're working over the weekend or they need to do something at midnight and IT services is not available. So by enabling this P1 ticketing solution, it actually took away their fear, and they were more willing to accept that change. And we also have P2 and P3, which requires additional approvals like for example, they need to get their manager's approval before they make the change. If it's something which requires InfoSec's attention, what we would do is we would tag InfoSec and get their approval. So we have those processes in place. And as I said earlier, by doing so, we increase the security and also reduce the manual intervention as well.
Cool. So nobody is secretly downloading Candy Crush to play while they're in meetings.
Exactly.
That's that sounds like a good plan. I think having that option to, get through the requirements in order to get that admin access is huge. Because we have had a lot of discussions internally and with customers about temporary elevated admin access. So it seems like you all were able to do that via the API. So that's really cool to hear. Do you have any other integrations with JumpCloud, HRIS systems or other productivity tools, anything like that?
Yes, Urvashi. Yeah. So maybe I can basically contribute a couple of use cases wherein we have used JumpCloud, right? So when I joined Circles, I was kind of tasked to look into how we can improve access management for a CI/CD application, right? So which was being used, to push out various changes, customer specific changes to downstream systems and to production platforms, right? So the application itself was quite critical for Circles because it was doing, it was kind of responsible for all of the cloud deployments, that includes rollback of the deployment in case of any inadvertent changes and things like that. And these were part of the normal change management process. And also it was providing, critical fixes, to customer facing applications, whenever there was a business impact or some customer facing issue. So that's why the application itself, the CI/CD application, was very important. Okay. And what we did was basically we circled back to look at our security requirements. And we said that, okay, we had to move to a centralized access management system for this platform. Okay. And the obvious choice was JumpCloud. Okay. And we took up this integration. Okay. Completed it without any major challenges. The documentation, JumpCloud documentation, was pretty useful in this case. And the support team as well was quite useful here. Okay. And they were very helpful to, pull us out of any situations, which were either challenges or blockers. And finally, what this meant for us is basically, we had integration with the centralized platform, that is JumpCloud, okay, which provided us better logging, better auditing, streamlined access management, and overall a better user experience for the end user, to access the CI/CD application, right? So that is one use case that comes to my mind. And one more thing I'd like to also point out is, again, this is something that we looked at, in terms of how we can improve the joiner, leaver, mover process, okay, within the organization, so that it aligns more towards our security requirements. Okay, so basically we embarked on a journey to integrate the HR system with JumpCloud. Okay. The task itself was quite challenging because we had to deal with multiple teams, have dialogues with multiple teams, have workshops with them. Okay, to reiterate the importance of why this was needed and how it is going to help Circles. Okay. So after overcoming all those hurdles, we eventually rolled this out. Okay, and it kind of ticked off one more big ticket item from our security requirement, right? So these were the two major use cases that I'd like to illustrate. Okay, and in the process, we are automating a lot of things. We are bringing in robust access management, JML process optimization. Okay, and all of this is currently possible only via JumpCloud. So that is where JumpCloud is helping us.
That's so good to hear. And I think one of the major conversations that happen around access management is, these shared passwords. So if you have your critical app and everyone's just logging in with test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3, then it becomes, easy to hack into that and take control. So I think integrating that identity management is a huge step. Actually, you mentioned logging and auditing as well. So along those lines, do you have any compliance requirements that you are required to meet, and is Jumpstart able to help you with any of those?
I can take that. So, Urvashi, we are actually ISO certified. So, as part of that, what we need to do is to do a yearly audit. So, another area that my team is accountable for is making sure that we remain ISO compliant through different areas. So, for example, access control, policy management for laptops, and even application access. So, what we need when an auditor comes to the office, we need to provide them evidence. And at times the auditor, actually most of the time, the auditor would ask us random questions. So they'll say, okay, for example, show me your laptop on Jump Cloud. Then after that, show me the policies which have been applied to your laptop. So since Jump Cloud is actually our centralized solution for asset management and also for policy management, it makes it much easier for us to actually, provide the evidence that they need. And even those ad hoc data that they request for, it's something that, it's easily accessible. We just need to log into the administrative portal of Jump Cloud. Then we can go through all the 1,000 assets that we have. And I think when I mentioned earlier as well, so let's say we are missing a policy where we need to be compliant. So what we can actually do is to, with a few clicks or with a few integrations with some APIs, we can actually propagate those policies to all our 1,000 laptops across Circles, and it'll make us compliant, and that will help us with our ISO certifications as well.
This is honestly sounding like the ideal implementation, which is what Jumpstart was created for. So I think over this conversation, we've covered like identity and access management, device management, compliance, access management, integrations with other tools. So this has been fantastic. We love seeing JumpCloud used to its full potential, especially with such a large device fleet that's, scattered around multiple offices. Looking more to the long term, if you had a magic wand, what would be the feature that you would like to have within JumpCloud?
I can go first on this. Yeah. So one thing that I would like to see, and I think it's already been developed by JumpCloud as well, is the one-touch or no-touch deployment of laptops. So it's something which is essential for Circles. Reason being is that Circles is a global company. So we need to deploy laptops as fast as possible in locations where we previously did not work in. As soon as we win a project, that's a location that we need to go in and hire people. So when it comes to laptops, it's very important that we provide the correct specifications and also make sure that those devices are compliant with our security standards as well. If we lack in any of those two aspects, either the laptop won't work as it's supposed to, or it could be a security vulnerability for us as well. So what we are doing is we are currently working with a vendor who actually supports JumpCloud's MDM solution. So by doing so, what we can actually do is to ensure that the laptop goes to the new hire, and that new hire, when he or she starts the laptop, all the policies are applied onto that machine, and the employee can start working after 1 or 2 hours of configuring the laptop. We can send the instructions to them as well. So it's a self-configuration, and also they can actually start working right away as soon as they receive the laptop, and it can be done wherever they are in the world.
Yeah, as you said, this is definitely something that we're already working on. I think onboarding and offboarding is a huge focus area for us, and hopefully we'll be able to get all that, tightened up and get it down to zero touch. Anybody else have a magic feature they would like with JumpCloud?
Yeah, something I'd like to add. Something that I would personally like to see in JumpCloud is basically certification of user accesses, right? So it's something that we are keenly looking for, okay, or looking forward to have. Okay, so again, the reasoning behind it is for us, anyways, the key focus is always to streamline our identity and access management journey, right? And so as a part of this journey, what would be the most best way, or what would be better is to have something as a feature available within Jump Cloud itself. Okay, so basically certification of user access as a feature available within Jump Cloud itself. And in that way, Jump Cloud would serve as a one-stop shop for all our needs. Okay, so it can then look into identity management. It can then look into access management as well as user access certification, right? So if we have these three, I think it will make the product complete for us, and we can basically rely on one vendor for providing us all the services.
I will definitely pass that on internally. And I think from what I know, we already have a lot of that information. It's just about making it available in a more user-friendly way. Ketan, what about you? Anything you'd like to add?
Yes, definitely. I would like to add something on this. So considering a IAM platform, right? So I would consider usability as one of the factors that would drive acceptance of the tool. Okay, when we talk about having a single tool across the company, then acceptance is very critical, right? So in that context, right, the first thing that will come to my mind is basically having user orchestration. So as a end user, right, I get to log into a single system, and it shows me what I am allowed to have access to and what I can request for an access to. So such a new request can also have its own workflows to manage the approvals and everything. But then it's the ease of access, or ease of managing my access, is what will definitely help, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the gap there is that they don't have visibility into what they could request access to. So I think that's a great point of feedback that I can pass on internally. And I think I'd like to have that also, personally, because we use Jump Cloud internally as well. So one last question. Sorry?
Jump Cloud has been kind enough to take our requests and set them up as feature requests and manage them internally. So thanks a lot for that as well.
Hopefully, we'll have a few more that you can check off the list soon. So one last question for whoever would like to answer. Where do you see the industry going in the next 10 years or so? And how do you think, technology organizations will have to set up for that future? Anybody can answer, or all of you can answer.
I can go first again. So I would say that most people would agree that generative AI is going to play a critical role. And I think it's going to be we'll see a lot of changes in the next 10 years. And I would say that most technology companies, even Jump Cloud, they have adopted some sort of AI in their operations, or they are actually in the early stages of developing it. It's difficult to say how it would pan out, but what I would like to say is that technology will become even more critical for organizations, and AI is probably going to be in the forefront in that progression as well.
We may or may not be working on something AI related, but for legal reasons, I'm not allowed to say. Anybody else have any visions for the next 10 years?
Yeah, maybe I'd like to add one more point. So since we are an organization that advocates the concept of digital telco, right? So we definitely want to get into a state wherein our platform is available as pure SaaS, okay, software as a service, okay, as well as more API centric, okay, so that we can have an option of integrating with any kind of vendor, right? So in an API centric way, right? So and this is something that is going to be a key advantage, okay, because it will give us a plug and play kind of an approach, okay, wherein APIs that we enable will be used for seamless and secure integration, right? So and this will also help for anyone using platforms like ours to help their businesses to have better time to markets. Okay, so I would say a API centric SaaS model is something that I'm definitely looking forward to have.
Yeah, I think we have a little bit of that, but there's a long way to go in terms of making certain information and actions possible. So I agree with you. Ketan, anything you'd like to add?
Yes, one thing that comes to my mind is about cloud native apps. So it's like a platform where you can write the code, compile it, build it, deploy, test, scale, all in the cloud, and then it's available as a cloud native app. That's probably something that the whole industry is going towards as well.
Yeah, I think with things like Docker and Kubernetes, like slowly, the building blocks are being laid out, but this would be a great future to have, hopefully in less than 10 years, because I feel like there's so much of that already happening. Thank you all so much. Any last thoughts before we wrap up? Going once, going twice.
Thank you for the opportunity. Much appreciated.
No, and thank you all for making the time to do this and to talk about how you use JumpCloud. We love highlighting how our different customers are using all of the different features and policies that we have. So this has been a great example for anyone to watch and learn more about how JumpCloud can be used. So hopefully we will continue to have a long partnership between Circles and JumpCloud and keep building the features that you'd like to see. Thank you all again, and talk to you all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.